Hello everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you exactly what to do with your key during the CDL road test. Now, if you're new to the CDL world, you're probably like, what do you mean, what do I have to do with the key during the CDL road test? So this is exactly what you're going to have to know so you don't have to fail over something very, very silly. For instance, this key right over here that you see right here has failed more people than you know. What do I even mean by that? So before we get started, I have to actually teach you what the road test is all about. So if you're looking to get a CDL license, part of that process is you're going to have to pass a 2.5 hour long road test. That road test is going to be split into 3 different parts. Part number 1, you're going to have to know how to inspect the vehicle, both inside and out. That alone takes 1 hour to complete. Part number 2 is all about parking the truck. You're going to have to know how to park the tractor trailer up to 6 different ways. And part number 3 is driving the truck on the road itself. So there's something very specific that you must do with your key during all 3 parts of these tests. And if you don't do that specific item with your key itself, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to fail. And that's not something that I want to see happen to you. So if you pay attention to this video to the very, very end, then you're going to know all the secrets of exactly what to do with your key during the CDL road test. So first thing we're going to talk about is the first part of the test, which is the inspection. This is where the key comes into play the most. So the inspection comes into 2 different parts. You're going to have to do an outside inspection, which is called a PreTrip Inspection. You're also going to have to do an inside inspection, which is where you're going to be checking the brake system, and also an InCab inspection, checking the inside of your cab as well. Now, a pre-trip inspection is something that's done on the outside, and that's what we'll talk about first. This is an inspection that is an extremely detailed inspection that you should be doing every day as a truck driver before you go out onto the actual road itself, right? So here you want to make sure that all your equipment is good and safe, so by the time you're going out onto the road, you're not going to have any issues there. You'd rather catch things when they're small and you're parked in your yard where you have access to a mechanic than when you're 50, 100 miles out on the highway someplace in the middle of nowhere. That being said, what you do with your key during the pre-trip inspection. Now this key, like I said, is going to be on your person. If this key is not with you during this inspection portion of the test, then automatic you fail. Doesn't matter how good of an inspector you are, doesn't matter how good of a parker you are, doesn't matter how good you can drive that tractor trailer. If that key is not in your pocket or in your hand or with you during this portion of the test, it's an automatic fail. They probably won't even let you speak a few words. Once you get started, boom, where's the key? Oh, I forgot it inside the truck. Sorry, you failed. And bada bing, bada boom, 2 minutes later, you're done. So now why is that so important? So if you're going through the CDL manual, you're going to understand something about safety, right? So the pre-trip inspection, like I said, is extremely detailed. So let's go through it. For instance, so as you can see, we're magically under a trailer. During the pre-trip inspection, this is something that you're physically going to have to do every single day. We're going to have to check things like the tires, the brakes, suspension, brake hoses, lines and couplings and all that stuff. And I'm underneath this trailer right now, and I forgot and I left the key inside the cab this whole time. So it's not something that's even on my mind. So what's happening? I'm doing my job. I'm making sure the inspection is happening. I'm in the yard and all of a sudden I hear something. Wait, what is that? Wait, no! And just like that, I'm turned into a pancake. Phil, blow me back up so then we can teach these people exactly what to do the proper way. Thanks to be back to normal size. No one wants to be a pancake. That being said, very, very important when it comes to the pre-trip inspection, have the key inside your pocket or have the key in your hand the whole time, and make sure you tell the examiner that you have the key with you. Do not forget that key inside your truck. It could mean failing your test, or it could be losing your life. Now, the next part of the key situation is going to be during the InCab inspection. So the InCab inspection itself is going to be a check on the inside. That's where you're going to do your brake test and your InCab inspection. There, the key can also fail you at a very, very important point. So the way the InCab inspection works is you're going to turn the engine on, you're going to build up the pressure to 120 psi, right? Once your air pressure is at 120 psi, you're then going to put it in first gear, or you're going to, if you're driving an automatic vehicle, you're going to chuck the wheels beforehand. Again, if you go to chuck the wheels, make sure you take the key with you. Anytime you leave the vehicle, take the key with you when you're going through this inspection portion of the test. That's rule number 1. But now once the air pressure is built up to 120 psi, you're going to turn the truck off to shut off the engine. But now is where the key comes into play. You have to turn that key back to the on position, which means you want all the power on your dashboard to be working correctly. Many people forget to turn that key to the on position, and what do you think happens after that? That's right, that buzzer tells you that you failed. So that being said, when it comes to your inspection, rule number 1 is anytime you leave the vehicle, have the key with you. Rule number 2 is during your in-cab inspection, make sure that the key is turned on the entire time. The only time that the key is not turned on is when you're shutting off the engine. Every other thing than that, the key should be turned to the on position. So that's the first part of the road test. Now, say you followed my rules, you studied hard, you went through our training process, now you're ready for the second part of the road test when it comes to the parking. So on the parking section, we're going to ask you to park the tractor trailer 3 different ways. We don't know which 3 ways yet, but you're going to have to, it's going to be 3 out of the 6 ways that you learn how to park a tractor trailer. During the parking situation, you are going to have the ability to actually get out of the vehicle and check out and see what's going on. Now, because you are physically parking the vehicle, you are always going to be watching the vehicle itself. Here it is okay to leave the key inside the truck and leave the key running as you're getting out of the vehicle to check behind and making sure that there's no hazards around there, right? So after the inspection portion of the test, the key can stay in the truck the entire time because you're either in physical control of the vehicle or you're just outside the vehicle checking everything out. You're never going underneath during this portion of the test if you want to check out to see how your parking is, right? And then of course when it goes to the road test itself, the best thing to do is to turn the key on, to turn the engine on, and never touch it again. Because if you do touch it again during the road portion, that means that you failed. What do I mean by that? So, the only reason to touch that key again as you're driving on the road means that you stalled the engine and you got to turn it back on. And if you come out with 1 stall on the road, that's right, the other buzzer, you fail. So, as you can tell, this key, something so small, can be so very important for you passing your CDL road test and getting your license. Something so small can be the difference between passing and failing. It does not matter what kind of skill set you have. So I've seen very skilled students go through this test and make silly mistakes, and I've also seen people who study hard, maybe made a few mistakes during the test, but they understood that the key was extremely important and they had enough points to pass the whole thing. So that being said, I hope if one thing you get out of this is you understand, give respect to the key, make sure you understand what to do with it at each part of the test itself. Now if you want more tips just like this, or if you want hands-on training with our program, give us a call, 908-525-3609. We're here to help you out any which way that we can, whether it's with a key, whether it's without a key, whether it's teaching you how to park or teaching you how to drive on the road itself. Here at Driving Academy, we have a mission of helping 1 million people get on the road to freedom. We can only do that if we help you get yourself a CDL license. Because freedom means having the right choices, and the only way to make the right choices, in this case, is making more money. So we're going to get you a skill that you need so you can make more money and have the right choices for you and your family. That being said, if you want more information on exactly how to get started with us, take a virtual school tour, cdldrivingacademy.com/tour. Again, that's cdldrivingacademy.com/tour. If you have any specific questions about your situation, give us a call, 908-525-3609. We're here to help you out any which way that we can. Thanks. Have a great day.